Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your March 1st to the 15th, 2020 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. So let's dive right in now, Sagittarius, and see what this time frame has to offer. I'm going to be first shuffling your spirit guide animal cards, also your totem cards for this time. So whenever you see these animals pop up in your day-to-day life, like if you're passing by a toy shop and you see a little stuffed animal of them or a sticker or, them out in the wild, this is Spirit saying, remember this message. So let's see here. Sagittarius, March 1st to the 15th, 2020, Sagittarius. 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 Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Fantastic. Your first one right here is the Badger Spirit, which I love, which says, there we go, be fearless and bold. And then we have the Chameleon Spirit, act as if. And I like to really see that one as act as if it's already happened. Act as if you've already achieved your goals, or as if it's certain. And then you'll start to see things kind of falling into alignment because mentally you're already there. And be bold and fearless with what you desire from life. Don't sit there and think, oh my gosh, this is too much, or this is, never going to happen to me, or something to that effect, because there's a sense here of great power surrounding you. Sagittarius, March 1st to the 15th, 2020, Sagittarius. March 1st to the 15th, 2020, Sagittarius. March 1st to the 15th, 2020, Sagittarius. Show me clearly. Ooh, goodness. Okay, these ones right here. Family and clarity. So there can be clarity that is coming to you about your family, from those that have passed on. But there is also a sense of really connecting with people who have become like family to you, having that strong connection, and really having that support. And if you don't have that support from people around you, this is saying your angels and your spirit guides are right there with you during this time, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, March 1st to the 15th, 2020, Sagittarius. 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 Show me clearly, 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 show me clearly. Fantastic. So we have at the center of everything the Queen of Swords. So this is an air sign energy, a Gemini, a Libra, and Aquarius. And then we have the Three of Swords. So I really do see you, kind of taking a stand against heartbreak, against disappointment, which is beautiful. The Six of Staves, moving forward in victory. Oh, I love this. The Page of Coins, earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, being a student of prosperity. Excuse me. Then we have the Moon card, right? This is a Pisces energy, a time frame of February 19th to March 20th. The Death card, which is a Scorpio energy, a time frame of October 23rd to November 21st. And then we have the Ten of Swords. Oh, I like this one. Okay, I like that Ten of Swords a lot. We have the Nine of Cups, which is beautiful. We have the Chariot, which is a Cancer energy, a time frame of June 21st to July 22nd. And then we have the Empress. It's like, you got this. So don't worry. This is like you living your best life, stepping into your power, knowing your truth. This is you having it. Having it all. So we're starting off with the Badger Spirit and the Chameleon Spirit. So as I said before, it's be fearless and bold and act as if. So be fearless and bold as you act as if you are getting what you want from life. As you look at what you desire, as you are moving forward, act as if you deserve it. Don't be, okay, so I have to clarify, because Spirit is like, act as if you already have it, act as if you deserve it. And it's not saying act like a jerk. I just want to make that clear. So, those people who sit there and, as my mother would say, and as my grandmother would say, they act as if they're hot shit, but they're really cold diarrhea. I mean, excuse my language, but that's just what came to me. It's kind of like, they gross. So it's it's really sitting here and saying, you know what, no. I have dignity, I have respect for myself, I am moving myself forward to where it is that I want to be. But I am not going to be held back. And I am not going to hold myself back by thinking, because, I mean, man, I've lived this, thinking everybody else is worth more than me. So that's where worthless comes from, right? You're worth less than everybody else around you. And that's just not true. So be bold, be fierce, be powerful, be fearless with your love for yourself. You know, with your power of your truth, with your sense of being unstoppable. Because yes, we have setbacks in our lives. And, you know, if you've watched me before, I say life is about struggle, because it is. It's not all roses and butterflies and, you know, champagne glasses and just one brilliant thing after another. It's hard and it's painful and it's overwhelming. And you sit there and you think, why and how and what's going on here? But as you look at your goals and you act as if you deserve to have them move forward, you're going to see a power come over you. And you're going to see yourself starting to be like that chameleon, adapting to the surroundings and moving yourself forward, being able to have externally yourself adapting to what internally is being so powerful, is moving you forward in such a powerful way. You have here family and clarity. There is clarity coming to your family, okay? There is clarity coming from your family, but there's also clarity coming to you. This is your third eye chakra. So there is a sense of opening up your third eye, seeing things more clearly, being more empowered. And with family, this is the root chakra. This is your balance. This is your touchstone. You know, we are shaped so much by where we came from, by our families, by the love we had or didn't have. And here, I really see you just being protected by the angels, by your spirit guides. However you see this protective force of the universe coming around you, that is how you're moving forward. And there is a sense of you becoming part of something more, which is what we need in this world. It's so funny because we're so connected, right? We can talk to people across the world. We can watch people across the world. And yet sometimes we feel so alone. And so we have instant connection, but no real connections. And it's building those real connections, if at first it just starts with yourself. And what is it? This really reminds me of The Paradox of Our Age. Look that up. The Paradox of Our Age by the Dalai Lama. If I remember, I will try to link it in the description box below. If I forget, just remind me. Because there is this sense of having so much and yet so little at the exact same time. And that's what I'm seeing here. And I'm not saying that you have a little bit. I'm saying that it's almost like an upstream battle, an uphill battle, where you're looking at what it is that you want, what it is that you need, what it is that you desire from life. And there's a clarity that's coming, but the clarity can make you feel kind of like an outsider looking in at things. You know, oh, why don't I fit in with everybody else? Why? Because you have a different home base for which to build yourself off of. Right? And it might not be, you know, your immediate family. It might simply be, and there's nothing simple about it, but it may just be your angels and your spirit guides leading you forward to something exquisite, a connection with divinity that opens up that third eye, and it connects you to your roots, to why you're here and what you want and where you're headed. Because the Queen of Swords, I mean, I personally love the Queen of Swords. One of my teachers was like, the Queen of Swords is kind of the badass. You know, she is fierce. She doesn't take any bull. He was like, when you see this person come up, you know, this could be very negative. And because I equate these to the zodiac sign, I don't really take it as negative because I don't believe one sign is better than the other or worse than the other. So here when I see the Queen of Swords, it is, yeah, you're not taking anybody's bull. I mean, you're cutting through doubts and fears. You're knowing your mind. You are not somebody to be in the background as an ornament. You have this tremendous beauty, because if you see her here, there's this tremendous beauty around her, right? And let me just look at her headdress really quickly. Okay. So it almost looked like a dragon's head. It's kind of like born of ferocity. But you're not going to be an attendant. You are the main act during this time. You are seen, but you are also behind the scenes. Okay? That is where you're going to feel most comfortable, behind the scenes, with your knowledge, with your understanding, with taking everything in. And this is going to lead you forward like the Chariot. I mean, the Chariot with a Cancer energy, I mean, there's this tremendous love here. You might be having brutal truth come from an air sign energy or a Cancer energy. Air sign energy, again, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But there's this sense here of you not taking any bull and of you moving forward with such a ferocity of soul and self that you are unstoppable. Think of this as the charioteer, right? So here it is over the water, so it is being able to move great distances quickly over emotions. But also charioteers back in the day were kind of like the NASCAR racers. Back in the ancient world, you would have chariot races in the Colosseum in ancient Rome. And so that was like NASCAR. You could get killed so easily doing those races. The chariots were kind of like the tanks of our time, but without that protection. So you would be able to have that force. You were a quickly moving target, so you were harder to hit with spears and with swords and with things like that. But there is this sense of speed and ferocity and, going for it, even though the impact of emotions may very well be overwhelming, may very well be the fear. It's the fear, it's the doubt, it's the, can I do this? Am I doing this right? Kind of mentality here that can be absolutely crippling at times. And so there can be a recklessness. It's kind of like, I just have to do it. I just have to start. And then you're going to see that the chariot brings and builds up momentum, and it keeps you moving forward. It keeps you moving towards what you desire. And as you do so, you're facing the Three of Swords. I mean, there is here, and I love this because it's like here, with the Queen of Swords at your heart. I really see it as that main sword that goes right through. Because in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this is a heart, with 3 swords stabbing into it. And here you have this 3 of Swords with this woman protecting herself from that main sword. And here now, it's your treasure. It's kind of like, I stopped this wound. I stopped this hurt. I overcame so much. So what once was you needing to fight against heartbreak, against pain, like I will never have this happen to me again, is now, look at what I've overcome. Look at how I've succeeded. Look at how I've achieved. Look at the fierceness of me moving forward. This heartbreak, this pain, the 3 of Swords, is something we need to face as human beings. That's how I see it. I see it as the pain, the hurt that we would really like to put in a little tiny box and shove in the recesses of our mind. Don't do that to yourself. Don't hide away. Don't make yourself feel less. Okay? Look at the pain that you have been through and see that you're still standing. See that you're still fierce. See that you are still a powerhouse. And so don't look at it as a weakness, a shame, a pain to be hidden away. Yes, you don't have to tell everybody about it because you are going to keep things and be much more inclined to keep things to yourself. But it is going to be a tool that helps you move forward because as you look at this pain, this hardship, this disappointment, you have the 9 of Cups. It's like there's a radiance to you. There's a beauty, there's a serenity, there's a power to you that may make other people astoundingly jealous. And they might sit there and say, wait a minute, Sagittarius, you should be on your knees. I've seen you go through so much. I've seen you hurt. I've seen you disappointed. Now you're changing the game. Now you are, doing this, doing that, embracing your power, embracing your truth, have this radiance to you, have this beauty, have this love, have this serenity to you that I don't, and I didn't go through this. And so when I say being mindful of people being negative, of people wanting to cut us down, okay, my great-grandmother, who I had the privilege of knowing, she would always say, kind of keep good news to yourself because half the people don't mind and the other half will take you by eyes, okay? They will jinx you. So you don't want them to jinx you. You want to sit there and know your truth, know your power. Work it out, yes, with people that love and honor you and that you love and honor. And sometimes, yes, we do make wrong choices with that. But there is this sense here of having a power around you. It can just be working things out with your angels and your spirit guides and needing to say things out loud or write things down. And you might not want to have like a written copy of your thoughts anywhere, so you might burn it afterwards. What's wrong with that? Set your desires free through speaking, through writing, through understanding. And you're going to see heartbreaks that have been holding you back, things that have been holding you back, no longer being that obstacle in your way. But you seeing a greater truth, a greater knowledge. And this leads you to the moon spirit, okay? And I love this, the rabbit in the moon. And so here, there is a sense of having beauty with you, of having something peaceful and lovely. And there is the sense of this Pisces energy. Now, the Pisces energy is with the Empress. So this might be a very impactful energy, Okay, it can be somebody who is a Pisces. It can be somebody who has Pisces traits, who is very loving, who's very caring. But you have to understand with Pisces, the main thing you have to do in order to have the whole world at your feet is conquer your fears. So with the moon spirit here, with the moon here, there is a sense with the full moon comes divinity. And so with this full moon comes the Empress. She's not a queen, she's higher. Okay? And I love the story of the Empress Theodora in, was it Roman or was it Greek? I can't remember. I think she was a Roman empress. Okay, she started off as a prostitute, or it is said that she was a prostitute, and that was like the only job you could get back then, right? And if you were a woman. And so she started off lowly, and she became the wife of the emperor. And one day Rome was burning, and the emperor was like, Justinius, he was like, oh my gosh, I gotta leave. I have to protect myself. I cannot burn with Rome. And she pretty much told him, well, she reminded him of her duty and everything like that. But I love to think of it as she said to him, because she was like, I'm staying. And I love to think of it behind closed doors, not the speech that she gave to, everybody. But she said to him, if you leave, don't come back, because I got this. And that's what I'm seeing here. It's kind of like there's this beauty, this elegance, there's this refinedness, but I can hold it all together. But I got this. And I just keep on seeing, like the story of Theodora is just, Empress Theodora is just coming to my mind. And it's a powerful truth. And it's like, okay, you're afraid? I got this. So fear can run rampant. And it can run rampant very, very easily. Do not let it take over your power. Because by the light of the full moon, okay, yes, it is embracing divinity. But it is also embracing the power, the truth, the bounty of yourself. And you are going to see here that there are possibilities you hadn't even imagined coming to you. There's a sense of peace, a sense of power, a sense of truth that is leading you forward. And as you embrace this truth, you have the Death card. It's a dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new. It's a connection with spirit. It's a getting information and obtaining information through meditation, through a connection with your heart, your soul, and yourself. That you thought, okay, no, it's not going to happen, but it actually does. You're shedding a skin. You're being reborn. Think of it as a snake shedding its skin. In the ancient world, people used to think that snakes were magical because they shed a skin and they still lived. So that's what I'm seeing. It's kind of like you're becoming that new person. But it's going to happen in a very organic way. It's not going to happen. I'm not seeing it like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Though remember, each morning when you wake up, you are rising from the ashes of sleep. But I do see this as being very organic. It's kind of like you are shedding away something that no longer has relevance over you. And it can seem almost like magic. But it's your natural evolution of self. And this leads you to the Page of Coins, to looking at wealth in a new light. And I love here that this is a more mature man because it's not a child. Now, pages do represent children. Yes, they represent messages. Okay, they represent new starts, new ideas, student cards. But we are never too old to learn. And it's one of the was it Pluto or Socrates or somebody like that who said, like, if you are too old to learn, then there is nothing left to live for. So here it is always looking at things anew, looking at what seeds you want to plant to tend the garden of your life, of how you want things to grow, how you want things to bloom. Because there's a fierceness to you here, Sagittarius, which is like, I am moving forward. And there's a fierceness of heart and of soul. And with the Empress, people aren't going to see it because you have this radiance with the Nine of Cups, with the Empress. I mean, even with the Moon card, there's just this radiance to you. All right? And they're going to think, even with the Queen of Swords, there's this radiance. Now, do know that during this time, you might be a bit sharp-tongued or take people's advice a bit too seriously. Or, yeah, it's something like they say something, it hits a nerve, it can kind of blow up out of proportion during this time. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of that because I don't want to see you going through struggles unnecessarily. Okay? But all struggles are necessary because they help us move forward. So I do understand that point of it too, Spirit is saying. But there's just a sense here of do not let others' words surpass your own knowledge, your own understanding, and your own truth. Because I love this Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is usually a man laying prone on the ground with 10 swords in his back. It's like absolute overkill. And it does mean overkill. It's too much. It's can be thinking about things too much, taking things too seriously. And here with this Ten of Swords, I see this as him conjuring these swords away. It's kind of like, I'm throwing this out there. Now, it can be that you are expelling negativity from you. You are purging yourself from it, like a detox. Okay? So it might not be pleasant, because sometimes detox aren't. But there's also a sense here of being mindful of the words that you put out. That's why this is going to be very important, because you're releasing this. Okay? So it's releasing toxicity. Right? Because you claim your power, because you are a student of your prosperity. You are looking at how to plant your wealth and what you value as much as money, because you are going to be pregnant with dreams, pregnant with limitless opportunities. There's this huge sense of creation around you. All right? And as it comes through, people see it. I mean, you have the Nine of Cups right here. It radiates from you. It radiates from you. You are successful and you are celebrating that success. Do not forget to celebrate yourself, Sagittarius, because you know, and you know that you know, and other people know that you know. It's kind of like you have a secret, and the secret unveils beautiful things. But don't tell anybody, because what is the old saying? Two can keep a secret when one of them is dead. It's like, okay, that's intense, but it's like, don't give away your power. Because there is a fierceness to you. There is I have learned, I have understood, I have been through so much, and I will not give away what was so dearly earned. Right? It's a knowing that you have. And that knowing transforms you. Because here, as you purge yourself, as you let out, just be mindful that you don't want to do this around people. It can be a release of negative energy. I would highly recommend you being like outside, having a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or cocoa, whatever it is that you like. Because as you purge, as you release, as the dawn comes and the darkness leaves, you start celebrating yourself. You start sitting there and being like, wow, okay, I get this. I respect me. I love me. And it's celebrating the small things. I mean, we are all so quick to be like, oh God, you're such an idiot. How could you do this? How could you do that? We speak to ourselves hopefully we never speak to strangers. the way that we would be appalled if we heard somebody speaking like that. So there is a sense of this purging, all right? And as this purging happens, you are seeing what you desire, okay? You are seeing where it is that you want to be. And then we have the Nine of Cups. There's a radiance about you, because you're seeing your worth, you're seeing your power, and you are moving towards your goals. And subconsciously, this is going to lead you, I love this, to the Nine of Coins. Prosperity and success. You're very close to a completion of a cycle, a completion of one of the reasons why you are on this earthly plane. And that is going to be beautiful for you. It is moving you to the realization of the chakra message of visualization. This is, again, the third eye chakra. What you visualize, what you see within your mind's eye is so powerful. So what you believe becomes reality. Whether you believe it positively or negatively, it becomes truth. So be very, very careful with your thoughts, and be very kind to yourself during this time. Your subconscious spirit animal is the wasp spirit. And I love this card because it says sometimes life stings. Sometimes it does. Sometimes life it isn't fair. And there's no rhyme or reason for it. And it stings. It hurts. It's like picking a nettle, and you're like, oh, ow, how can something with such a pretty flower hurt? And sometimes things that are beautiful cause us pain. And so life is beautiful, yes, even when it is hard. A comedy in ancient Greece wasn't something that was funny. It was the fact that they all didn't die. So here, it is being able to sit there and embrace the fact that you are still moving forward. And sometimes life stings, but sometimes that's how we learn the very best lessons. All right, Sagittarius, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you, and I love you all. Bye.